For hundreds of years, people have admired Leonardo da Vinci's painting known as The Last Supper. It has been praised as one of the greatest works of art ever created. Most viewers saw it as a quiet, sacred moment, frozen in time. The moment Jesus told his disciples that one of them would betray him. But recently, new technology has allowed scientists to look beneath the surface of the painting, deeper than any human eye has ever seen. And what they found was not paint, not dust, and not damage. They found hidden messages, patterns, and words that appear to have been placed there by Leonardo himself, waiting for the future to discover them. These messages were not discovered by art historians or restoration experts. They were discovered by advanced artificial intelligence during a scan of the painting using hyperspectral imaging. This technology is able to see details at a molecular level, details that the human eye cannot detect. The results shocked everyone who was involved. It appeared that Leonardo placed information inside the artwork that would only be visible when technology had advanced far beyond his own era. Leonardo da Vinci was not just a painter. He was an inventor, a scientist, a philosopher, an engineer, and a thinker who constantly searched for truth. He studied nature, the human body, mathematics, light, sound, and movement. He did not simply create art to be beautiful. He created art to hold meaning. At a time when the church controlled knowledge, Leonardo recorded many of his ideas in secret. He wrote in mirror writing. He hid diagrams inside drawings. He left behind puzzles that future generations are still working to solve. Most artists during the Renaissance followed strict rules when painting religious scenes. There were traditions and expectations about how Jesus should look, how the disciples should be arranged, and how the message of the painting should be understood. But Leonardo did not always obey these rules. He believed that truth and knowledge were more important than tradition. When he created The Last Supper, he did not choose a strong, long-lasting painting technique. Instead, he used a fragile method that caused the paint to fade and crack over time. Many experts wondered why he would do this. Why would a perfectionist choose a method that would cause his masterpiece to decay? Now, many believe the answer is simple. Leonardo wanted the painting to be fragile on the surface, because the real message was hidden beneath it. The painting was placed in a dining room used by monks. They would sit and eat while staring at it every day. Leonardo knew this. He understood that the image would influence their thoughts, their beliefs, and their understanding of faith. The way Jesus sits, the way the apostles move, and the way the objects are arranged are not random. They follow mathematical patterns, geometric lines, and symmetrical designs. These patterns appear when the painting is digitally mapped. When artificial intelligence analyzed these lines, it found something unexpected. The positions of the apostles formed shapes that corresponded to mathematical spirals, particularly the golden ratio, a pattern found throughout nature, architecture, and art. Light, shadow, hands, and gazes appear to communicate a hidden structure beneath the story of the supper. Leonardo was careful in everything he did. He had witnessed how the church silenced those who questioned religious authority. People who challenged doctrine were exiled, imprisoned, or executed. Because of this, Leonardo did not openly write his beliefs. He hid them. He waited for the right audience, an audience that could understand mathematics, science, and logic. He believed that someday, the world would have tools capable of reading what he hid. That time is now. As the paint aged, cracks formed across the surface. For years, these cracks were considered damage. But when scanned by AI, many of the cracks were revealed to be deliberate. They formed patterns, shapes, and even faint letters embedded in the pigment. These markings were so subtle that no human could recognize them without digital enhancement. The first hidden message discovered was located behind one of the apostles. It was written in Leonardo's style of backward mirror script. When translated, it said, "Life exists in silence." This phrase immediately raised questions. Was Leonardo suggesting that truth is quiet, that understanding requires observation rather than instruction? The researchers continued scanning. More messages appeared. They were faint, fragmented, and buried under layers of paint. One message read, "When faith sleeps, reason speaks." Another message stated, "Knowledge was hidden for fear of eyes." These were not random thoughts. They were declarations. They suggested that certain truths were hidden intentionally, not to deceive, but to protect. Leonardo may have believed that some ideas were too dangerous for his time, and that they could only be revealed when humanity was ready to consider them without fear or punishment. As the scanning continued, the AI discovered that the inscriptions were not separate messages. They were connected. They formed a network that spread across the painting like an invisible web. When the messages were mapped according to mathematical patterns in the painting, they began to form larger sentences. Sentences Leonardo may have expected future generations to read. One of these larger reconstructed lines stated, "When faith blinds the eyes, power paints the truth." This message suggests that those who control belief can shape reality simply by telling people what to think. Leonardo may have been warning that faith, when controlled by authority, could be used as a tool to manipulate and control. Another message read, "Those who fear knowledge bury it beneath holiness." This suggests that sacred imagery may have been used to hide information, discourage questions, and maintain power. Then, deeper scans revealed something even more stunning. Leonardo had embedded musical notation into the painting. The positions of cups, hands, and shadows aligned with notes. When these notes were played, they formed a slow, solemn melody. Within the music, faint inscriptions appeared again. One read, "Truth destroys those who build on shadows." This message was not an attack on faith. It was an attack on deception. Leonardo appeared to be arguing that real truth, whether scientific, spiritual, or personal, cannot be destroyed. But beliefs built on fear, control, or manipulation eventually collapse. This discovery did not stay secret. News of the hidden messages spread quickly. People all over the world began to debate what the messages meant. Religious leaders, historians, scientists, philosophers, and the general public all had different interpretations. Some believed the messages strengthened faith. Others believed they challenged it. Museums began receiving huge crowds. People wanted to see the painting in person, even though the hidden inscriptions were not visible to the naked eye. Online discussions grew into arguments. Some people began claiming that the church had known about the messages and kept them hidden. Others believed the messages were misunderstood. In the middle of this chaos, a single hidden sentence appeared behind Jesus' head. "Truth will be the cry of the future." It was as if Leonardo da Vinci was speaking directly to our time. The world had changed, and now the painting was changing with it. The discovery of hidden messages inside the Last Supper inspired further research. Scientists began to analyze Leonardo's other works, searching for similar symbols, codes, and patterns. What they found suggested that the Last Supper was not a single isolated message, but part of a larger system of communication, something Leonardo had developed intentionally and carefully across years of work. One of the most revealing comparisons came from examining Leonardo's anatomical sketches. He had spent a great deal of time studying the human body, including muscles, bone structure, and the nervous system. He believed that by understanding the human body, he could understand the mind, and by understanding the mind, he could understand the human spirit. Many of his anatomical sketches contain geometric shapes and symbolic patterns similar to those found in the Last Supper. This connection suggested something important. Leonardo believed that truth is not just found in religion or science, but in the balance between the two. He saw the body as a structure of nature, and the spirit as something greater than physical form. He believed that the physical and the spiritual were linked through mathematics and design. The AI scanning revealed that the arrangement of Jesus and the disciples in the painting resembled the structure of the human brain. Jesus sat in the position corresponding to the center of reasoning, awareness, and self. The disciples, arranged in groups of 3, matched the major regions responsible for emotion, memory, and perception. Leonardo may have been suggesting that the divine exists not outside of us, but within human consciousness, not as a distant being, but as something rooted in our capacity to understand, reflect, and create. Researchers were stunned. The painting that many believed was simply a religious moment was actually a map, one that linked faith, science, and the human mind. This idea became even clearer as more messages were reconstructed from beneath the paint. One message read, "To know the divine, first know yourself." Another said, "The voice of God is the voice of thought." These were not statements of rebellion or rejection. They were deeply philosophical ideas suggesting that spiritual truth is not given from outside, but discovered from within. As debate continued, historians turned their attention to the time period in which Leonardo lived. The church had enormous power. It controlled education, art, and public belief. Speaking ideas that challenged the church could be seen as heresy. Many people were punished for expressing their interpretations of faith. Leonardo understood this. He knew that certain ideas could not be spoken openly. This raises an important question. If Leonardo believed his ideas were valuable and true, why hide them? Why bury them beneath layers of paint, within musical notes, and inside geometric patterns? Because Leonardo believed that truth should only be revealed when humanity is ready. He may have trusted that future generations would have enough knowledge, freedom, and technology to understand what he was trying to share. He may have believed that the world needed time to evolve before these ideas could be safely discussed. And now, centuries later, those ideas are finally emerging. The discovery of these hidden messages created a global conversation. Some people felt inspired, believing the messages brought faith and science together, showing that one does not have to cancel out the other. Others felt uncomfortable, worried that these ideas challenged traditional beliefs. But the most striking reaction came from those who felt that Leonardo had been waiting for us, that this was not an accident or coincidence, but a message delivered across time. This raised another question. What did Leonardo want the future to understand? As scientists continued their research, they uncovered one final message, located in the darkest, most damaged part of the painting. The message was extremely faint and took months to fully reconstruct. When translated, it read, "Truth is never lost. It waits." This message suggests that truth does not disappear. Even when hidden, buried, or ignored, truth remains. It waits for the right eyes to see it, the right minds to understand it, and the right time for the world to hear it. The message continues, "Those who seek with open minds will find me. Those who fear knowledge will turn away." This does not demand belief. It invites exploration. Leonardo da Vinci was telling the future to question, examine, and learn for themselves. He believed that understanding should come from curiosity, not obedience. In the years since this discovery, the Last Supper has taken on new meaning. The painting is no longer seen only as a religious moment, frozen in time. It is now seen as a bridge between worlds, the world of faith and the world of reason, the world of past and future, the world of the seen and the unseen. Some believe that Leonardo's true genius was not only in what he created, but in his understanding of time. He created his messages knowing he would never see the future. He placed his trust in people who had not yet been born. He believed that someday, humanity would be ready to understand. This kind of vision is rare. It requires patience, hope, and a belief in progress. Leonardo believed that knowledge grows, that curiosity rises, and that truth eventually reveals itself. And now, the time has come. As we look at the painting today, whether in person or in images, we see more than a historical artwork. We see a message passed across centuries. We see a reminder that truth is not something that can be owned, controlled, or silenced. Truth is something that lives in the human spirit. The final reconstructed message, the one at the center of the painting, the one behind Jesus' head, reads, "The truth is already within you." This is not a command, it is an invitation. It suggests that understanding is something we are all capable of. It suggests that awareness is not something given from outside, but something discovered from within. It suggests that each person is their own doorway to knowledge, meaning, and discovery. Leonardo da Vinci left a message not to tell people what to believe, but to encourage them to think, to question, and to learn. He believed that truth does not belong to any institution or authority. Truth belongs to those who seek it. Today, when millions look at the Last Supper, they no longer see only a painting. They see a conversation between the past and the present. They see a message that waited patiently for technology to reveal it. They see a reminder that wisdom is not lost. It is simply hidden, waiting for the right moment to be seen. Leonardo da Vinci may have lived in the 15th century, but his message speaks directly to us now, in a world full of questions, discoveries, and change. He believed that the search for truth is the greatest journey a human being can take. And now, the journey continues.